A bread maker and a dog.
A bread maker and a dog. Once there lived a bread maker in the village. He loved his work and put all his passion into it. Every day he would experiment and try to make a variety of different bread. People liked his bread a lot, but most people in the village were poor and couldn't pay a lot for the bread. The bread maker was a very kind person and very modest, so he would take only a little money for the bread that it was even hardly enough for him to make a living. And when they had a child with his wife, he especially felt the lack of money. But he couldn't put higher prices for the bread as he knew that then people wouldn't be able to afford it. But the family needed to buy more food and more things for the baby. The bread maker was desperate. So one day he decided to put higher prices for his bread. But as he predicted, no one would buy the bread for higher prices.
I love your bread, but the price is too high. I need to buy cheaper bread.
I understand, but I work a lot and we need the money for our young family. But the people would just buy cheaper bread. It made the bread maker very sad. So he decided to go for a walk in the forest. And as he walked, he suddenly saw a dog lying under the tree. The dog was heavily injured. The bread maker immediately took the dog to their house. He would take good care of the dog. He would give the dog good food and medicine. And very soon, the dog recovered.
My master, thank you very much for taking good care of me.
That's impossible. Can you talk?
Yes, I can talk. I am a very special dog, and I am going to reward you for what you've done to me.
Oh, don't worry about that. You can just live here. I'm very glad that you feel better.
You are a very kind man, and you deserve better destiny. Just trust me. I need you to buy me a good hat.
I'm sorry, but I don't have the money to buy you a hat. Our family is struggling with money.
Just trust me.
And the bread maker would go and buy a very nice and expensive hat for the dog. He spent all his money, but he trusted the dog.
Such a good hat. Thank you, and thank you for trusting me.
The bread maker just nodded his head and continued making his bread. Now he would sell it really cheaply. Meanwhile, the dog, in a nice hat, would take some loaves of bread from the bread maker and would go directly to the king's palace. The dog would bow to the king and say,
Your Majesty, I brought you some special loaves of bread to try.
The king was very surprised with seeing a talking dog, and he especially paid attention to the dog's beautiful hat.
It's the first time I've seen a dog speaking, and I'm also amazed by your beautiful hat. It shows your noble origin.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I indeed have a noble origin now. You will try this special bread. It has a unique taste and only noble people eat it.
Thank you. I'll try it.
Next day, the dog came to the palace again. The king met him personally.
Thank you for giving me that bread. Who made it? I've never tried tastier bread in my life.
I'm very glad. I brought the bread maker with me.
Hi, nice to meet you. I loved your bread so much. I've never tried anything like this before.
I'm very glad to hear about it.
From now on, you'll become my personal bread maker, and I'll pay you accordingly.
The bread maker was so happy after hearing it. He started making bread for the king and earned a lot of money. Never again had he problems with money. And he also continued selling bread to villagers for a low price. Moral: stay devoted to what you're doing, help others, and sooner or later, you'll receive the reward you deserve.